What?
We are live.
Sorry, there's no sound, guys. I can't turn the weapon for sound.
Dang.
So what? It don't matter. We still lit.
We here. We here. Oh my goodness. And YouTube is still hating in the chat, but you know what? We're going to fix this. I'm super duper excited. So
50K in it. That's all I can say. YouTube.
we here. Yo, this is like the second event that I've done, but this is like super duper major.
This is major.
This has been a long road coming. Because why? We reached 50K!
Mother! Cheers! We out here.
He's got water. Yes, I guess I should go on and tell everybody that we are live.
Oh yeah, let me. Okay, bear with us.
Yes, please bear with us. One last little
Let's do
moment.
the IG though.
You said what?
The IG. Tell everybody we're live.
All right, let's see.
Oh my goodness, Jolene, this has been a long road coming.
I know. I almost busted out the song, but
You're like here. 50.
No, we're actually live on YouTube, and he's doing Instagram stories.
hey, hey.
Live on live.
Hey!
This is like a hangout. I have a feeling I'm gonna get slapped one way or another by one of these things.
Yo, 50K? What? 50K? What? 50K? Who? 50K? Where? What?
I wish it had the little the kazoo kind of feel.
Y'all gotta use your imagination.
Yeah.
We 50K in it.
Well, it took a certain amount of imagination for us to get here, so that's
It
super
did.
dope. All right, so now I'm going to work on these comments. So
Okay.
let's see if we can get the live chat up and going.
Yeah, let me share it too. So one more place.
We got a lot to just divulge. So
Oh my
I'm
God. I've been drinking.
Oh God. Oh my goodness. So today's episode, first off, if you haven't subscribed yet, then today's a good day for you to subscribe, because if you haven't been here in a minute and if you don't know who we are, I'm Mark Monroe, accompanied by the wonderful
Jolene GC in the place to be.
And this is the Come Up series. So if you stumbled across this episode on a Saturday, welcome, Jumbo. We love you for being here and celebrating with us on our wonderful inaugural
50K subscribers / supporters / come up cousin in the building.
And this is going to be super duper lit because we've been holding out for a very long time. And this week is going to be a lot of special stuff. And today is going to literally kick it off. So if you haven't subscribed yet, if you just happen to stumble across us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And on top of that, after this video is done, you can probably check out tons of content that's going to follow. If you haven't liked any of our videos, then go ahead. Oh, wait, you can hit a few likes or just hit this like button. If you don't like this video, then I guess today is not one of those videos where you just dislike. But if you do, then, hey, that's your business. God bless.
Yeah, tell us why you don't like to celebrate.
We would definitely like to know that. Maybe you may be having a rough day. It may be raining, whatever it is. But you know what? Hey, we understand your plight. We understand. But at the same token, today, exactly.
No sounds.
I know, right? It's kind of killing us, but you know what? We're here. We're here. Oh, okay. Sound effects. So I think that we're waiting for YouTube to get it correct.
Oh wait, I see comments.
You do? I do not. So, well, there it is. Hey, we are here. Yay! The comments are
Yo, I be missing the comments.
Yo, the comments be lit. And sometimes we just be sitting here like, oh man, we would love to have you guys on board here with us. So go ahead and share it out to everybody in which that you know, because
we lit.
We are super lit.
Grape juice in full effect, y'all. Don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah. So we are definitely celebrating today. We're going to take you back in a little bit. We're going to take you back a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to our first episode.
Way back.
Way back. Now, I think we couldn't find that episode in which that we had where it's like we were like super duper janky, where I had to hold the iPad and then Jolene was talking through the iPad and I was talking to everybody. We couldn't find that one for some reason because Facebook is hating and, you know, sometimes they'd be on one. But we're going to go to the episode 1. So we're going to go through that a little bit and then like kind of like discuss some of the things that we talked about and or just react for the first time.
Yo, we haven't watched this, you guys.
We haven't watched this. We're talking about 41 weeks back. Like that's all the way back to May 5th.
Mm-hmm.
No, the episode before that was before May 5th.
But you know.
Yeah. So, but we're going to go to the May 5th episode. And then on top of that, we're going to check out one of our episodes that we also did that goes all the way back to June 14th, which I think was our first ever YouTube video.
Okay.
So it's either June 5th. I think it's June 14th.
No, our first one was in July, I thought.
Word? Okay, well, then YouTube is definitely not getting it right because it told us that the oldest video that they have was from Trade Talk Tuesday. But then if that's the case...
No, these are the old... No, we wanted
These must be from the vault.
Yeah, those are from the vault. But what was the first episode? Wasn't it this one with Matt?
Oh, yeah, July 21st.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to the July 21st episode where we actually had Matt Reese. Shout out to Matt Reese. Who actually inspired the burner account.
Yes, he did.
Well, I had burners before, so
But
you'll also hear about the story behind the burners in which that we set up. So, like, you get to hear a lot of the things in which that we normally don't get to talk about. So, we hope that you guys are ready. We hope that you guys are ready to, like, you know, party with us because we're excited to share this moment with each and every single one of you. We couldn't do it last night because there was a lot of things going on. So we felt like we couldn't hold it in for any more. We got to do it. So where do we even start?
Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning.
The very beginning?
Somewhere in the middle.
So, okay. So do we start with how the Come Up series came in or do we start with the first episode, one of the first episodes of the Come Up series?
Okay, let's talk about how it all started.
Okay. So this is where I sit back for the very first time. And
all right. Once upon a time, no, I'm just kidding. So I don't remember the dates. It was sometime in 2019. So you all know that my very first trade was November 26, 2018. After about a year or so, I posted my returns. Like I took a screenshot, posted my returns, like, oh my gosh, you know, thanks to my mentor, Mark. Da, da, da. So I tagged him. And I think at the time, like it was over 900%.
it was 987%.
Oh, well, I don't remember the exact number. I normally remember numbers, but for that one, I don't remember. Okay, so, needless to say, people were blowing up the phone. They were blowing up Mark, and Mark was at the Tesla station. He was charging his Tesla or driving. We were like, he just got done charging it or something, but we were on a FaceTime call.
I just started charging it.
Okay, we were on a FaceTime call, and at the same time, we were both like, man, I can't wait till you get your Tesla. Mark said that, and I said, I can't wait till I get my Tesla, but we said it at the exact same time, and we both just started cracking up. That was 2019. And so then Mark's like, he's like, yo, are your DMs hella lit? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, are we doing this? And I was like, yeah, we're doing this. So the very first time we went on Facebook Live.
No, we just jumped a whole bunch of
okay, you doing that?
We jumped into a whole bunch of storylines.
Okay.
So we talked about the founding of like how the Come Up series came forth. Because then after we did that, we were just like, okay, because we had other stuff going on at the time.
Yes. You're right. Okay, you're right.
Dang, this is where I just come in and just giving the food fillers.
All right. So
she's a better storyteller than I am. So go.
We had so many things, like other projects going on at the time, which we'll get into later, and you'll understand like the tie back. So we had other projects going on. Mark was in the shadows. Okay. So Mark was in the shadows, and we were talking about Mark going to the, coming out of the shadows and like what it would mean to share with the culture. And we just started dreaming out loud. And so then at some point, Mark he was back at home,
Mhm.
and we started talking about like, what are we gonna call this though?
Mm.
We had a whole bunch of names. Like some of them were like, nah, that's hella whack. No. And then shout out to Erica Monroe, because Erica, give it up, girl, give it up, give it up, give it up. Erica was like, it should be called the Come Up. And
Yes.
so then we started searching, and we saw some other things that
We saw a Come Up
something
channel.
with the Come Up.
Yeah, we saw there's this sister that has the Come Up channel
Mhm.
on YouTube, but it focuses towards like her journey as a software engineer.
Yeah, so then we were just like, nah, this is bigger than just a Come Up. This is the Come Up series where we're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff, all the come ups in the culture. So then look at Steve's background. I'm looking at the opening. And so we're like, yes. And in that moment, it's like we pause and we're just like, all right, this is about to be lit. It's about to go down. And I remember Mark asking me, he's like, yo, are you ready to piss some people off? And I was like, goon hand ready.
Activated. Yeah, I remember saying, I was like, yo, we're gonna piss a lot of folks off.
Yeah. We talked about that.
We
talked
did.
about it because we knew that we were, one, this was not a business model for us. This was our life's work. So we knew off top, we're like, no, we're not charging the culture. Because it's like we wanted you all to go from being a consumer to an investor.
Yep.
So we couldn't be the ones that you were quote unquote consuming.
Yep.
We had to be linked to your investing mindset. So these are the thoughts that we had like early on. So everything about the Come Up series was planned and intentional. We knew that it was important to see Black people, a Black man and a Black woman
Mhm.
who had a relationship as a brother and sister. We
Yep.
knew how important that visual was.
Yep.
And we also knew how important the balance of masculine and feminine energy was in this particular space.
Yep.
We are also very present to the lack of women representation. So we thought about all those things and what that would look like, what types of shows we would have. We started talking about all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
So we even have show ideas that have not been released yet. They're like still in development. So we have like a whole, I mean, like if you just scroll, there's so much stuff. If anybody
So
ever got a hold of
much.
this, if anybody ever got a hold of this,
Well, we shouldn't like tell people.
I wish somebody would. Woo!
Yeah, there were like so many different, like I remember like when we wrote in notes,
Yes.
there were like over, what was it, 40 different like series?
We had 40 different shows, you guys.
Yeah, and we've only shown like maybe like what, 4 of them?
Yeah.
Wow, we've only gotten to 10%. Wow.
Yeah, let's take a sip of that. So we spent a lot of time thinking in the beginning, like what this could be, what it would look like. We knew what our mission was, and we knew how important it was to be consistent.
Yep.
So shout out. I wish I knew exactly how many lives it's been. I don't feel like counting.
Lord.
Because we have the stuff that was on Facebook. Not everything has made it to
Right.
YouTube, but let's take a look. Let's go back down memory lane and see what one of those early episodes on Facebook looked like.
And then and I guess we'll get back to the story.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Lord.
This is our first time seeing this, you guys.
Okay. So, a lot going on.
There's a lot, yeah. A lot of screens.
There's a lot of screens. Okay.
Here we go.
So-
We gotta turn the volume up.
I guess I have to unmute Facebook because I like to mute
Okay.
Facebook.
No idea.
This is
to shout themselves out, like, where are they?
Oh yeah, it would be nice.
Well, let's.
wait, go to the very, very beginning
Okay,
because
that
we're
makes
still trying to
sense.
figure it out.
Where now?
Yeah, so I have to delete something. Delete posts.
Look at us trying to figure it out.
Yo, so Jolene's sitting there in her space and
Share. There we go. Post it. Boom. That's how we do it, America.
We had no lights. We had no 4K cameras. None of that.
Yeah, I think I was just sitting there in front of my MacBook.
Yeah, and I was on my iPad.
I mean, Facebook isn't the greatest platform, especially since a lot of their services. Well, I don't want to steal.
Look how we blamed it on Facebook.
No, we were still using Zoom.
Right. You got my government name on there? Like, it's crazy.
We're here. Hopefully everybody can join in.
Here, there's audio.
You want to fast forward a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to like the 20-minute mark.
Boom. Are we still trying?
So you talked about looking at some companies, and you also talked about how tech is essentially killing it right now.
Still sipping water.
Still
I
sipping.
think at least maybe give out 2 of the 10.
This was
All right,
before
so
we had the this was before we had the
pick
full list.
Yeah.
We were kind of like workshopping, like this was all mixtape phase. So we were trying to workshop like how we were going to introduce picks and all that kind of stuff.
So, by the way, when we say mixtape phase, shout out to Che Davis. 'Cause
Yes.
She was like, yo, are we going mainstream or are we doing mixtape? And I was like, yo, I'm not in a hurry to do anything. It's like my focus is just to give quality to the people.
Mhm.
So we're still going to be mixtape. And so that's what we mean by mixtape.
2 of my 10. I'm gonna pull up my handy dandy watch list, and yes,
There are
your watch list of stuff.
Oh, God.
No particular order. So this is not, y'all. This is not a top 10. So I want everybody to understand that this is not a top 10.
Look how
and
young
then
you are.
also disclaimer, we are not giving any type of financial advice at all. Like, this is just a
The
conversation.
lawyer in you.
All right. So, by the way, I'm not taking on any clients right now. I'm just literally just doing this just for the fun of it.
So when we meant by clients, actually at the time, I actually was mentoring folks, and I considered the folks in whom which that I mentored as clients, because it actually posed it for me to like literally like say, okay, hey, there's a level of seriousness. And then another thing that I would do is I would actually charge folks 20% of the profit, and then I would give that away to nonprofits or people in whom which that needed it. What?
I paid 20%. I negotiated mine down or whatever.
Lawyers. But it still went towards great causes though. So that way it's like essentially like people were able to generate wealth, and then I was able to actually also help with their learning and show that it was going towards places in which they were in true need. So I always like live my life by like your left hand doesn't know what your right hand is doing. So it's like just giving just to give because of the fact that it's the right thing to do.
And just for giving everybody information to pretty much help them make a decision. At the end of the day, you got to make the decision. So I always tell you, not be pessimistic, but more so in the sense of challenge the data in which that is.
Yo, this was back in the Fitbit days. Y'all, I could
that.
not part with my gold Fitbit. Okay, I used to love my Fitbit.
But did you notice something there? Even then, I told people to be skeptical of what is it that I say.
Yeah, you're pretty consistent.
No, I try to remain on brand.
So always go get a second opinion. And do it again.
Keep eyes with Fox.
Yeah, so they have to. They're bundling now. They're bundling so that way ultimately that they can get it through, but they're not going to release it on their own.
Okay, so let's see what the original pick list is.
Such a lawyer. All right, good. Here are 2 out of my 10 stocks. Sorry if you guys hear the water in the background. All right, so
Plus my wife's heart.
stock number 1 is Advanced Micro Devices, also known as AMD.
This is back when me and AMD were hella cool, y'all.
2017, and it's literally been just stealing the show. And I'm gonna get to that in a second. So that's number 1, and I'm gonna get the obvious out of the way. Tesla. You put your money in it.
Okay.
Well.
We out here.
Company like Tesla, and then you let it sit for 10 years. I mean, the company they're showing us that they're on their way towards a specific path. And honestly, you're starting to see internal combustion engine manufacturers, they're taking a huge hit right now. They're not able to keep up exactly with what Tesla's doing.
Look at God, won't he do it?
Yeah, just for the record, I just want to let y'all know, like, let's think about it right now. Yo, so check this out. So I literally said back in May that your auto manufacturers cannot keep up. And lo and behold, they couldn't keep up, and they still can't keep up. So, interesting, Mark, from May 2020, you were on to something. All right, so let's watch a little bit more, and we're going to fast forward a little bit more into the video. And
okay, all right. So for those of you, just for the sake of this, if you want to interact with us now, I challenge you now to pull up your I challenge you to pull up your phone. If you're on your phone, I'm sorry, it may possibly cut you out, but I mean, if you get the time in your free time, definitely do it. Download the CNBC app or use Yahoo. They also have a good chart also in their system as well. So, but if you pull up, say, for example, I'll see what I can do over here. It'll be kind of janky this week, but we'll try to do some more screen sharing
the janky days
next week.
It was so janky, y'all.
All right, so if I pull up the AMD chart, and
this was before I knew about screen
I'm looking
share.
at it now.
Oh. Look, y'all, this is the
Oh my God.
I was like,
They're gonna take my tech card.
There's some interesting things to see there. But one of the
this
things
is hilarious.
your own
Oh wait, I ended up in.
Let them say it in the comments.
Our 6-month chart, and I'm getting ready.
Oh wait, we made it.
Unfortunately,
Quick recovery.
You said support, like everyone knows what you mean when you say support.
Support is pretty much where you can find other buyers that are willing to buy in at a specific stock or at a specific price. So it's pretty much like, okay, if AMD drops to this price, it looks cheap to me, so it looks affordable. So I'm willing to buy it now. And so if it has the support, then you'll see immediately, as soon as it hits a certain range, you'll start to see a strong amount of buyers step in and buy the stock. Well, that didn't happen. And then when you take into it.
Okay.
All right.
Say it again?
I'm asking everyone if they have any questions or so they could put it in the chat before.
Okay.
Consistently on brand.
Consistently.
I had to have a strong positive.
Oh my gosh.
So what I do to get information is I literally, I research every company.
9 months out.
Can I pause real quick here?
Yes.
AMD was trading at $52.
Oh my God.
When I told everybody that my favorite stock was AMD and Tesla.
Wow. Wow.
No, there goes Boeing. So somebody must be here. All right, so
I will download the feed.
Oh wait, I'll pause it right quick. Oh man, I lost. Dang it, the chat be going so fast. Shout out to the cousin who made a comment about starting imperfectly. Y'all, let me tell you something. When you have a mission, this is why I say get in where you fit in.
we definitely did.
When you have a mission, and I say let no thing stop you, not even tech can stop you, okay? The lack of tech, it can't stop you.
But the data was still there.
We used to have 20 people in the comments live. 20 people. 20 people, y'all. And I used to be excited for every single one of them. Oh, Linda! So consistent. So shout out to the original people, our cousins on, this is before cousins.
This is before cousins.
So shout out to all the originals from the Facebook days.
We actually have somebody here though that just showed up, and I want them to see.
Yes, come on in.
You can take it off. We know you. So for those of you that wanted to know exactly, like, okay, hey, who are some of the greatest brilliant minds?
Let me get Jessica.
Okay. So you're gonna find out who is it that actually has designed a lot of those riddle shirts for you. And here's the interesting thing. I've known this person since back at my Unfold days. So yeah, prepare to meet Eugene Gem.
Hello.
And
Dun, 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 dun.
da-da-da, Jessica Yee. So Eugene and I, we started My Unfold together. Like Eugene and I have been like co-founders and business partners since like forever. And I think we met on like the soccer field. So it's like when we started coming up with the concept of My Unfold, it really started back in the days in which that Eugene was finishing up as a senior in college. And then on top of that, it's like when we started talking about the Come Up series and we started talking about the riddles, like these two individuals like literally would slave like days going through tons of historical data and also going through designs to come up with things in which that literally would be brain teasers, but also had significant meaning. Once you actually owned any of the merch, we wanted to make sure that it actually had a solid meaning to each and every single one of us with a purpose. So shout out to you, Jessica and Eugene. Yes. No sound. I wish we had the one with the, I think it's like, what does they call it? A kazoo?
Yeah, we need those ones.
Okay. It's just silent.
I know. See, come down.
Okay, so just so that way each and every single one of you know, it's like, yeah, it's like it wouldn't be possible without their leadership on a graphical design forefront, as well as from Eugene and his research forefront, and being able to look back into history and looking at data and saying, okay, hey, well, this would be interesting just in case if they, if they just really took some time to think about it. So you can't knock me for all the puzzles.
Dynamic duo. Thank you both.
Thank you guys so much. I'm sure that they're going to be working on another riddle for y'all. All right, so we're going to go back. So I guess now we should talk a little bit more before we go.
Story?
Yes.
Where did we leave off?
So we left off at the part
with
where
Erica comes
Erica
up with the name.
Yes.
Okay, so Erica comes up with the name, and we're like, yes, this is it. And then we came up with all the different ideas for the shows that would be under the series. Because from the beginning, we thought of the Come Up series as like a network.
Yep.
And we would have multiple shows. And we knew that we would have, that it wasn't always going to be just me and Mark producing the shows. Or not producing, meaning but like being in the shows.
Yep.
We knew that we would be looking for new talent. New talent to do these shows.
Yes. And one of the interesting things was when I started sitting down and kind of like writing a blueprint for different series of shows, I looked at it in the sense that, in the beginning, it starts off with like our faces, but then ultimately that's where we came up with the concept of it doesn't really matter who we are because each and every single one of you play a huge key part in that process. So, be advised, there will be more shows. There will be more parts of the series in which that you will see different faces that are not ours, in which that tell a part of the journey and help each and every single one of you in your path towards wealth.
But rest assured, they will be on brand.
Always on brand.
Always a come up.
Okay. So should we go to the Facebook episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait. We just did the Facebook. That was.
So we're done with the Facebook.
We're done with that one.
Okay. All right. So now
we're moving on. Now we're gonna look at the YouTube one.
So, oh my goodness.
This was pre 4K camera.
Yeah.
Because I think they weren't here yet. We ordered them.
Yeah, we had ordered them, but they weren't here yet. All right. It's kind of funny because you can kind of see the lineage of my office as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, that's muted too.
What we had to go through the Facebook days.
We were so excited to not be a part of Facebook anymore.
It's kind of crazy. But you know what? We're here. And I guess we're waiting on Matt. Oh, Matt is here.
Yeah, he was waiting. I was like, hold on, buddy.
My bad, Matt. I'm sorry.
Matt is so funny.
There he is. Oh, man.
Okay, first things first. That shirt that Matt is wearing,
Yes.
he was the one, and I felt so bad because I was not on brand that day. Because all three of us were. You did give me a heads up, but I did wear the shirt way before.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I wore the shirt early,
Yeah.
and instead of us all wearing the shirt at the same time, but you're looking at the person who designed the original shirt of the Come Up series. I got 99 problems, but investing ain't one.
Yeah, that shirt goes hard.
It does go hard, especially with
black and black.
Black on black.
Yeah. We were so happy, guys.
Sorry, guys.
So happy.
I messed up.
Man,
Burner.
I'm with it.
That's definitely on me.
No, that means you're getting good use out of it. That's all good.
Definitely, it's very comfortable. That shirt was extremely comfortable. So I just said, you know what?
Tasha. Shout out.
Yes, definitely a huge shout out to Tasha. So we're definitely going to be having more merch coming. You know, I definitely got to add in some of my wonderful quotes there. So, but hopefully everybody that's joining us today.
So let's get forward.
Off of all the epic stuff that you guys had mentioned about who we are at the Come Up. The other part about us is that, you know, for me, what really brings the Come Up even like full circle is that, you know, I've made it to certain levels in my lifetime very quickly. And, you know, like I mentioned last night, the air is a little different. It smells different. It feels different up here at the top of this mountain. And there are more mountains for me to climb. But at the same time, it's like, what good is being at the top of this mountain when you look around and you don't see other folks that look like you, that aren't able to partake and to open up things within their communities and to just reach back and give opportunity to other people. So that's what the Come Up is all about. It's actually written into literally our name. Is pretty much everything that we give you is with the pride and focus that it is going to be your Come Up. So, yo.
Yeah. Consistent from day one, yo. That's the intentionality. Like, I can barely talk now.
I got you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was that focus in the beginning. Like, we were serious, and we're still serious.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's kind of funny because, like, you know, the brand and the messaging was always there from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's super duper cool to know that, you know, we remained on brand, on message, and tried and true to the focus and mission since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, since day one. So, but I think we should get into a little bit more of Matt's story, because I think that he has a very interesting journey as well. So,
yo, just let's get into it. Let's get into it because we got a whole lot to discuss today, and I know that you guys are gonna want me to smash these charts. So let's just do it. So, Joanne, take it away. Where are we starting off?
Yo, okay, so this is what we call Trade Talk Tuesday, and let's just talk about what happened in the market today. First of all, so we can all have like some context. So, as you know, the Dow
it was butter.
was up by 159.53 points.
Skip to Matt's part. When he
I say that Best Buy is definitely going to be one of those.
When did he start talking?
To watch, especially as earnings, since we're now in earnings season.
And then I looked at
talking.
fundamental, and the red line is the actual stock and its movements. And then you have the top line, and you have the stock.
Speaking of Boeing.
Boeing, what you doing, baby?
Yo, speaking of Boeing right now, Boeing.
This was the actual visual graphic of what happened today. This was the yard of the person.
That was the yard of the person. Okay. And then these are like this is like the yard of the person. And this is like the little house. These are some of the houses in Colorado in which it was also hitting rooftops and everything else. So I feel, you know, hopefully everybody, I hear that everybody's safe. So that's a good part. But if you didn't know, Boeing had engine failure in one of its engines. I wonder who designs those engines and who creates those engines. But at the same token, they were like literally flying off the plane and they had to do a mayday and an emergency landing back the flight was on its way to Honolulu. The reason why we're talking about Boeing is because of the fact that also, and it's kind of interesting that it's coming back full circle on this.
Yeah.
Boeing was one of our picks in the list.
Mm-hmm.
And this was around the time that I was seeing this as an opportunity for Boeing.
Yeah.
And then Boeing just kept finding ways to just show its behind. So I just said, you got to go inside.
But you know what's good about that, though?
What's that?
I made my profit and then I got out.
That's a fact. That's very much so a fact.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because of the fact that here we are again. I think we were adding Boeing to the list.
Yep.
And here we are now.
Here we are.
Lord have mercy. All right. So God bless.
What happened there?
Where is that
pretty
story?
much,
Not take into account how.
just a simple formality. The who's who of the consumer.
Okay.
For
We have consumer discretionary.
What I'm doing. Now here's the.
But basically, when you buy,
All right, here goes
And
man.
so now, even with
So let's ask some quick questions. So, I guess we got some questions coming through. All right. So we'd only hold 1 year. They're asking. So you would only hold for pretty much 12 months.
well,
So the position is like for, I think it's like 17 months left.
yeah, 50% basically of
Yep.
whatever the contract is.
Okay. And so another person asked, and maybe Matt, you could probably speak to this, and also Jolene, feel free to chime in. So how can, say, for example, a stock be down, but yet at the same token, your option is up?
so Mark, you
Didn't we just deal with this issue just this past week?
We did.
Huh. You know what's so funny? You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
explained this multiple times. I know the option versus stock. The option versus stock scenario is pretty cool when you're looking at the purchases. But basically, when you buy one contract, which is 100 shares, and let's say $1, although the stock might have gone down, if interest in that position, so the $1 that you purchased increases, more people want to buy it, it will go up, although the stock price went down. And that's the volatility that affects the strike price. And when you hit the strike price, and whether or not you are in the money, and if it, let's say, doubles, quadruples, it's all about interest in that position. And so if there was news that Amazon was struggling, that could affect the XLY stock. But if all the other stocks in that ETF are doing well, it still might be interesting for people to get into. So it just depends on the interest in that position. The position you bought, which was, January 2022 at $1, that position could increase in interest, which would increase the price.
So, did he say XLY January 2022?
He did. He did.
Interesting.
Two questions. One, how do you, Jolene, this one's for you. How do you feel about weekly option trades? And
From the jump. From the jump.
also, a person's asking, should they take their little, it's not little if it's money in the market, it's never little. Should you take your 3 Boeing shares and use it for a small, just to, well, you kind of cut off, just to give myself a little leverage? Let's answer the first one. Yeah. About weekly option trade.
I'm not built for weekly options.
Nope.
For myself, I'm not built for weekly options. It's short. And so if you get a weekly option, then it's like you
By 3 days, 2 days.
Yeah, like I can't. Like the way my blood pressure is set up, no.
Consistent, y'all. Consistent.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Just to think back in moments of time where it's just like Matt was one of the folks in which that I've had the privilege of mentoring alongside Jolene, alongside people like Che and many, many others. And it's just so crazy just to see like where people are today. I think if their stories could talk today, it would be so crazy just to say, okay, hey, like, things are possible. Things are very much so possible. So it's like, I promise I'm not gonna cry. But no, for real, like, I think that it's a true testament for individuals to say, okay, hey, like the folks in whom which that I've had the privilege to mentor one of the beautiful things that I wanted to make sure when we were doing the Come Up series is that each and every single one of you all saw the faces of the folks in whom wish that one day you would be like, if not better. With the understanding of like, okay, hey, I expect each and every single one of you to be better than what I ever was, and essentially make more than what I ever did, which we'll get into that on Tuesday. We'll get into that on Tuesday. But it's just, I revel in the success of each and every single one of you, though that I don't really publicize it. That's not my thing. You know, if you want to publicize your success, then by all means. But every day that I see your success, it makes me happy. I look at each and every single one of your success as better than, say, for example, my own success, because of the fact that here it is. You stepped out on space, you stepped out on faith to one, and trust the two of us, as well as some of the other folks here at the Come Up series, along with this movement, to say, okay, hey, that they have our best interests at heart. They want nothing from us. And yet all they want us to do is just focus and execute. So it's like, for me, that takes a great deal. And so when I hear about everybody like, executing and getting to 200, whatever percentages that there are, it like literally fuels me every time. Like, I remember back when I used to like just have sessions with you, and it's just like, yo, my best friend's rich, check. Like,
and I would pop up on the screen like.
But it's like, it's so cool because like to start from like, really just having a conversation with really like consistently 20 people, 20 to 30 people, to now like here we are, we're even sitting here in this live, like literally sitting here talking with each and every single one of you. And that's about almost 2,200 people. So like to us, it's like, well, I can truly say that I think that, I speak for both of us. We are truly, truly thankful for each and every single one of you trusting us and allowing us to do such a thing. Like I said, it's just different without the kazoo part. But we really, really thank you. And so what's next?
Okay. Now let's get into, what time is it? 4:42. Okay, let's get into how we met. All right. So I wish we had the sound effects, the wind chimes.
Oh God.
No, is that Twilight Zone?
That's Twilight.
Okay, anyway. So this was a random, it was a Taco Tuesday night that was not on a Tuesday. It was like on a Thursday. And it was at our good friend Michelle's. Perfect. So our good friend Michelle is married to our other good friend, Marcus. Marcus is Mark's best friend. Michelle and I went to college. I was Michelle's first Black friend. She was struggling. Anyway, shout out to Michelle in college. Shout out to Michelle. Okay, and so fast forward, Michelle's having this party, and at that time, I was living half-time in Jamaica and half-time in Seattle. So I would travel back and forth. And I happened to be in town during this time. And at that time, yes. Okay. So we're at this party, and I'm pretty social. So if I step into a room and there's someone that I don't know, I'm going to go and be like, hey, I'm Jolene, blah, blah, blah. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. And so I saw Mark, I introduced myself. We were talking, and we were talking about business. We were talking about tech. We were talking about innovation. And this was before you sold your company.
Yep.
Okay. So I was sharing this idea that I had, and Mark was like, why don't you just go for it? And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go for it. And then also at that time, you guys, I had an Android, and I didn't know what to say. Yo, I had an Android.
Shout out to all the green bubbles out there. I was an Android for a period of time too.
And so I remember I was taking a picture. This is back in the Instagram days where you like took a picture of every single thing that you ate. And so I was like, oh, I got to capture this taco. And so I took a picture of the taco, but the color was all jacked up. And I could not figure out why the colors were jacked up. And so Mark fixed it. And I was like, oh my gosh, thanks. Right. So anyway, we ended up playing, I don't remember what game it was, like Taboo or something. I'm super competitive.
So am I.
When it comes to games. I don't remember who won, but I'm pretty sure I was on the winning team because I don't play. And so anyway, we just kept in contact, and it was funny because our mutual friend, shout out to Anthony Shucraft, he was like, you guys don't know each other? I was like, no, but I feel like we would be best friends, that we were best friends in a previous life because we were just like, like that the whole time. And we're just talking about like ideas. And what's really interesting, so we're going to fast forward. So remember that I shared an idea that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So remember that. This is before the sale. This is before, at this time I was wait, was I an attorney at this time? I still was an attorney, but I did not work. I wasn't a prosecutor. I was doing like entertainment law.
Yep.
Okay. So fast forward, Mark, you put out that call on Facebook. This was like earlier on.
Yep.
And you were just saying like you would talk to people about like 2016 their ideas, right?
Yep.
Okay. So fast forward. Maybe this was around 2017. Okay, don't worry about the dates. The point is that I had a different idea. I have ideas all the time, you guys.
Yes.
All the time. Some of them I give away. And some of them are probably like, I have like notebooks of like ideas that I had. Like me and my brother, we had the idea for Netflix before it was Netflix. Not the streaming, but like the the vending machine part. Okay. So anyway, I should find that, be like, this is where it was. Anyway, fast forward. So now I contact Mark and I'm like, Mark, I have this idea. I want you to be my tech advisor. Because at this point, I didn't know, I don't have a tech background. I just have this idea. And the idea was, let me back up. So as an artist, I was getting told, I had got some negative feedback, right? Like I applied for something, I didn't get it. And I was shocked because I was getting love internationally as an emerging artist, but I wasn't getting love in Seattle. I'm like, hello, my own hometown. What's up, y'all? So I got feedback from this opportunity I applied for. And they told me that my artwork was too ethnic and not mainstream enough. Yes.
I heard the same thing from VCs when I was pitching my startup.
See, isn't that crazy? You see how they do us? Anyway, so then I was just like, I was talking to some of my other artist friends, and they were getting told the same thing. And the three things we had in common were that we were Black, emerging artists without gallery representation. Yeah. So I thought to myself, okay, I got to leverage technology somehow to get artist exposure so that we don't have to be dealing with these galleries and institutions that don't recognize our value and, our contributions artistically. And so I had this idea to showcase art, contemporary art, via augmented reality. I told Mark this idea. I went to his office. Eugen was there. And I told him, Amit was there too. Shout out to Amit. I told him the idea. And at that time, I just needed to know if it was viable. Like, am I wasting my time? Like, I didn't know the future of technology, none of that. I wasn't there yet, y'all. I just had like a vision, and I shared it with Mark at the time. And Mark, what happened at that meeting?
I said that I would help you build it.
No, you didn't.
Oh, no, I didn't?
No, you jumping the gun.
Oh. Okay,
this is what happened, you guys. So I told Mark that I had all these investor meetings set up, right? I was your girl was pitching her butt off.
Yes.
And everybody was saying, oh, that's a great idea. However, the way my portfolio was set up, like they're saying that, or I don't know much about art, so I just can't, whatever. They're focusing on the art part and not like the vision of the technology.
Correct.
Like how that could go.
I do remember that.
Okay. So then, now that's when you and Eugen had a conversation.
Yes, we had a conversation, and that's where we started thinking about, was that around the time that we were thinking about Red Eye Studio?
No. So this is what you had told me later. So I left that day, and Eugen, I think it was Eugen, you said, do you think she'll be back?
Oh, yeah. And I said, do you think that she'll be back? Or he said, do you think that she'll be back? And I said, yes, she will.
And the reason why is because I asked Mark if this was a viable idea, and he said, this is his quote. He said, this was a megawatt idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I left with a little pep in my step. I was like, all right, so now I just got to find some money and get this thing popping. So 6 months later, after 80 Jillion No's, I had kept in contact with Mark and I was giving him the updates because he was my tech advisor. So I was giving him the updates. And on this particular day, Mark, this is when your office had a gunman. There was a gunman on the loose.
Yes.
The office was shut down.
I think somebody had they got the pink slip and it was just the bad day and they came back to the office with a gun.
Yes. So his building was on lockdown.
Yeah.
Downtown, yeah. So his building was on lockdown. And meanwhile, I had went and taught an art class to some teenagers. We were doing a mural. And these teenagers wore me out that day. And it was raining. So I'm already just like tired, like, oh gosh, I don't even know if I can make this meeting. But something was just like, Julian, just keep your word and get on this phone and call Mark and give him the update for this meeting.
Yeah. And
so this is the first thing I said. I got on the FaceTime and I was just like, look, I don't even know how many times I've been told no, but this is the update. And I'm telling him, I talked to all these investors. They said X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
And
you're pretty frustrated.
Yeah, because I knew the idea was the quote unquote make a wild idea. And I'm just like, why are they hating on your girl?
Yes.
So then Mark basically said, he goes, he's like, yeah, that's part of the game. That's how it happens for entrepreneurs, And he's like, well, luckily that ends today. And I'm like, what? Say what? He was like, luckily that ends today. And basically, long story short, Mark gave me a blank check for the development of my app idea. And then on that day, virtually shook hands, and Mark became my co-founder in my tech startup.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been rocking ever since.
Yeah.
So that's like the other background. So it was like we were mentor, mentee.
Yep.
But then we moved to business partners, and then we moved to creative partners, content partners.
Yep.
So that's kind of like the trajectory of how this all goes. So we wear many hats. And it's just funny because what's really funny is that Mark was always consistent. So this is even before all this wealth, Mark was very consistent because he always wanted to invest in those who were not seen by whoever needed to see them, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So as Mark was going out and building his dream, he knew that he was going to, quote unquote, come back and invest in others. So that context is really key. When I tell you, like, this is so consistent, it doesn't make sense. When I say on brand, like, I legit mean like on brand. It's like on brand. There's always this comeback. And so to go from initially having a conversation about some other idea when we were both just dreaming out loud to then being able to invest in one another, like, that is like crazy, like how the trajectory on a random Taco Tuesday. I could have been in Jamaica that day. I could have missed my flight. I eventually would have met you because we have the same social circle, but, under those circumstances, and I just want to say that Mark has always been consistent in his character. Always. So yeah, that was like, you're welcome. So that was like the background story of how we met. I'm sure we left out some details, but y'all, like, I've been drinking this grape juice and things are starting to mesh together. But so now you've heard
how the come up started.
Yep.
You've seen the first episode.
Yep.
And then the first YouTube episode.
No, that really was the first one. Yep. No air quotes.
No air quotes. And then on top of that, you got to learn about the story behind how the come up series got its name.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to my wife, Erica Monroe.
Shout out to Erica. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And then on top of that, you got to see, like, for example, the people behind the design of some of the riddles.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the question is, where are we going?
Yo, I feel like we're leaving some stuff out. I don't know how long this live is going to be, but I feel like we're leaving some stuff out.
I mean, it's possible. Okay, so
I
guess here's the part of what I know.
Okay.
Mind you, I've been drinking grape juice. So for me, it was like really, really hard, like, really like putting myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, that was one of the biggest things that I was like really, really nervous about from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Was just like, okay, hey, you know, am I the guy?
Mhm.
You know, does the culture really need me? All those things.
Oh, I just thought of something. I'm sorry. Wait, I forgot. Wait. Yo, okay, I gotta share this part, Mark. Sorry. Y'all, after getting all those rejections, let me tell you how bomb it is to have an investor who looks like you, who is black, whose dog is black, whose Tesla is black, and whose wife is black.
I think you just blew out the camera.
I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. God already knew. God knew when he made me. He was like, she got to be triple black. Triple black out here. And whatever, you know, that piece is so important to me because let me tell you about these VC streets. That's not always the case.
Not.
And so I'm telling y'all, the whole trajectory is divine. I'm trying to tell you. It's like I pay attention to all those little details. Okay, Mark, go ahead. Sorry, I just had to, put that out there.
Oh no. My arm is good from the goon here.
Sorry.
Yo, I mean, but here's the interesting thing. It's like, in order for when we think about the Come Up series, right? A lot of folks, they look at to me, like the person who's had all this, time and investing and, the knowledge part. But it's like, just imagine if you had a show that was just just me. I don't think that it would really just go off well. And so here's what it's like to actually have somebody like Jolene. And the reason why it's like, it really made it work for us in the sense that, okay, hey, that this can actually be pulled off. Have you guys ever noticed those times where I'm significantly geeking out when it comes to knowledge or information on stuff? Jolene does a very good job of kind of reeling me back in and making sure that she's actively listening in the sense of, making the data human. Sometimes I go further and I'm like, yo, just boom, 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 boom. And then she's like, okay, Mark, you got to reel that back in. And one of the cool things about what we thought about from day one was, what we didn't really tell everybody, but I think we kind of hinted on it on one of the episodes, was a lot of times when we do these episodes for each and every single one of you, a lot of times, when I do conferences, I really don't like doing conferences where I'm I can just see myself. Mm-hmm. I just don't. Me personally, I thrive well when I see people, when I can thrive well off of human energy and everything else. And so, it was very, very cool in the sense that, I look at it in the sense of, so that way there's no misconception here. What the Come Up series meant for me was in the sense of when I sit down and have these episodes with Jolene, I get to feel like I'm talking directly to Jolene, just continuing on that mentor-mentee relationship. But then at the same token, it's Jolene's, don't sleep on Jolene, y'all. Do not.
I just be minding my business, y'all. I do. I mind my business.
Don't sleep on Jolene. I'm just going to say that right there off top. She's had quite a few years from mentorship, and she understands a lot of things.
Let's put it this way. I ain't worried about nobody's money. Okay, I'm chilling. Like I said, minding my own business.
Okay. All right. With that being said, but no kazoo though. But the interesting thing about this is here's the weird part. I look at every single episode also when I do the Come Up series as if the day, I think I told you this, the day, God forbid, that if something ever happens to me, that if my child is able to grow up with, if my child, God forbid, has to grow up with just, Erica and, of course, a wonderful community around them, the greatest leave back that I can ever leave behind is ultimately my knowledge. It's giving my child my knowledge and the legacies that follow my knowledge. Who knows what YouTube's platform will be? But the fact is that they can go on and learn something from their father. Mm-hmm. I looked at it like that just in case if, because for those of you that don't know, I've had cancer before. And ever since Paul Allen passed,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that was also something that kind of like scared me for a second, because I was like, whoa, his came back and, you know, we're kind of like this in the same boat. And so for me, it was just like, okay, hey, well, if something were to happen, you know, outside of just capital and, you know, wealth or whatever it is, the empire that I've been able to build, you know, what is it that I leave behind? You know, because they're just going to know like, okay, hey, these are all the things I inherited, but will they actually get to know me? And so the Come Up series for me is also kind of like twofold, because of the fact that just in case there's something there in which that they have something in which that, okay, hey, I can go back and watch the episodes. And then on top of that, you never know, they may be able to link up with some of the other Come Up cousins in which that they can connect with and be like, oh, well, I remember that. I dreamed a dream years ago where I was sitting at a restaurant and I saw two young children, young adults, who looked like us. And they were talking about this type of information that we talk about with the knowledge and everything else. And the folks around them didn't look anything like them. And yet they were like, wow. And it's like, it's more so in the sense of, not in the sense of like they're better than us, but more so in the sense that they look to us in the form of leadership. Hey, can you teach me that? Can you show us the way? And then we as a people show people what it really means to lead, but more so in the sense of the, you know, for the love of humankind and the wanting to be, you know, a better example than what generations before us have set forth. And so that's like kind of like what the Come Up series for me meant from the start.
For me, y'all, when I tell you, like in my lifetime, I have experienced moment to moment, back to back, miracle for miracle for miracle for miracle. Like so much so that I'm convinced the universe has a crush on me, like for real. And I say that because every single step, even if I wasn't sure where it was leading to, it was guided. And that to me is like the purpose of the Come Up. It's like when you're not sure of your step, but you take the step, rest assured you are guided. Your steps will be guided, but it's up to you to make that first step. And it's like, I have been so blessed in my lifetime, just blessed beyond measure, that I want others to experience that, especially our oppressed communities, especially that. I want each and every one of you to feel like, dang, the universe is jocking your girl, or dang, the universe is filling your boy. You know what I mean? Like where you wake up and like nothing but good things happen to you, nothing but, you know, green in your portfolio, blessings upon blessings, like no worries, no lack, where you're just living this abundant life and you have all this knowledge and you share it, and you cultivate this, you cultivate these deep and meaningful relationships with people who you may have never met in person. And speaking of which, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up little brother Tevo.
Of course.
We need to
let's talk about
brother Tevo. Now, I think we had shared this already, but let me just say briefly that Tevo came at a time where he was really distinct from a lot of people. I won't say everyone else, but from a lot of people, because he came serving. It's like he showed up to the dinner party with the full dish.
Yeah.
With the full dish, like, yo.
Not an appetizer, not a dessert, like a full entree.
Yo, a full entree, which is shout out to the Reddit, the timestamps, Father Time.
The mentor.
The mentor-ish, all that stuff that y'all be talking, security, all that. Shout out to Tevo, because Tevo is someone who, like, I just met Tevo in person. I mean, so did you, but you know what I mean? Like, we just met Tevo in person, and it's all, I want you guys to shower Tevo with love right
Doing
now.
It in the chat.
Okay, great, because Tevo is that guy. It's crazy when, you know, you're just minding your own business and you don't know that you have a long lost sibling out there. And then to just one day be on YouTube and discover that, yo, you're legit, you know, little brother is out there. And then you're like, oh my gosh. Now, you know, we're not like really related, but this is what I'm saying. Like,
feels like you've just been like related and you've just been long lost.
Yeah, we're spiritually related.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we must have been cut from the same cloth. Like, we have to share some DNA because it's amazing how similar Tevo and I are. It is really amazing. Like, if I'm being truthful, the reason why I like Tevo so much is probably because I saw myself in him.
100%. 100%.
Tevo, we love you, brother.
And it's just been an awesome experience for me, just being able to, like, you know, call him little brother. But at the same token, it's just like, just seeing him go from like start to where he is today. And honestly, the future is like extremely, extremely bright for him. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, I think that, you know, what you're looking at is you're getting a taste for what the future of leadership and amongst the league of leaders within our community, that's what that's going to look like. And it's like, it's great because it really makes you feel so assured to let you know that you leave when it's your time, when the sun sets on your time to like, okay, hey, step back and let somebody else leave. You know that when their time comes, it's like you're leaving everything in great hands for the legacy to continue. Speaking
of like great, I guess, body parts, hands, eyes, I would be remiss if I did not shout out Steve.
Yo,
Steve, get up in here.
Oh.
Yo. You guys, he's legit this silly in real life.
Always, every day, this is what I got to deal with. So when I'm doing videos with like Steve late at night, that's the energy that I'm getting.
Yo, Steve, stay right there, Steve. Stay right there, brother.
Yeah, he doesn't like being in the camera, so
right,
like we're gonna milk this for all it's worth.
All right, let's get this over with.
Steve, like, let me just say, like, your eye when we're doing the filming for like wealth rituals. And this is for me personally. I don't know how Mark feels about you, brother, but
that's all right. We go back and forth, you know.
But I just appreciate, like, I appreciate you. One, I appreciate your patience. You know what a mess that very first episode was, which will never be released. Never. Okay.
It's gonna be released.
No.
We're waiting on 100K.
No. For that, y'all, it gotta be $1 million for that one. I'm sorry. It gotta be $1 million for that one. But no, Steve, like, I just appreciate your persistence. I appreciate the fact that you are also on this journey. Like, it's lit when you are in a money game and everyone is breaded. Yeah. Like, that's lit, y'all. Yeah. You don't have to worry about nothing. And then it's not like, oh, who's going to cover this? It's like, well, we all got it. We all got it.
Yeah.
And Steve, I just want to say thank you so much for your creative contributions to the Come Up series. Not even just behind the camera, even from a business standpoint, just our meetings, I appreciate like your organization. I appreciate how thoughtful you are. And I definitely appreciate your creativity.
No.
Steve, we love you, Steve. We love you.
Thank you, and I'm out.
Steve gets uncomfortable, but I like to let people know.
The camera at all.
Yeah.
So I am going to do something in which it is a little bit unprecedented.
Wait, are you serious? Let me drink some water first.
What? No, calm down.
Oh, okay. You just never know.
Well, it's like before that July episode, I actually must give credence to where credence is due. Mm-hmm. I must give a shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I have to give shout out to Earn Your Leisure is because of the fact that honestly, though I was like highly uncomfortable doing that episode because of the fact that I know that what would be produced from that. But at the same token, it's like I learned to embrace everything from there. And then ultimately understanding that a lot of the cousins we met through Earn Your Leisure. And I wanted to thank them for one, just like literally understanding that, okay, hey, that there's knowledge here, there's benefit here, and that the people needed to hear what this knowledge was. And, they heard it themselves. But also it's like, honestly, the Come Up series would still be the Come Up series regardless. But I think that honestly, we must give credence to where it is because of the platform in which what it is. Mm-hmm. And shout outs to Rashad and Troy, as well as Ian, for allowing me to be on that episode that day and to be able to bless the people with such information. And I hope that from that essentially that it continues to build a long legacy in which that we focus on getting people to Black wealth and getting them on their Black wealth journey. So I just definitely, I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you.
Yes, thank you to UIL. And also, you know what? Congratulations to them. They're the number one
They beat Dave Ramsey.
That was their goal. If I see a goal smashed, I celebrate. So mazel to you.
Including the fact that they look like us.
Exactly.
So congratulations, y'all.
Exactly.
And we also got to shout out Che.
Definitely got to shout out Che.
In his honor, since he's not here. I don't have those Morpheus glasses because that's not how I get down, but
yeah.
Oh, he's with what?
Shout out to Che. If Che was here right now, I would just let him know, brother Che, like seriously, you are the vision. You, like all of our writing sessions for wealth rituals, like you really helped me like pull out all of the things that were in my journal, and things that I didn't even know that I wanted to share. And so I appreciate you giving your time. I appreciate, just your vision, like not being called a vision, but your vision for the Come Up series and the possibilities for the cousins.
And it's going to be interesting because of the fact that we have yet to see his full-on vision really start to play out.
Right. It's coming though. He has a show coming.
He has a show that's coming.
It's lit.
And so then we also got to definitely shout out some of the unsung heroes.
Oh, I have one. Okay, so I see, y'all, we read the comments. We read the comments. And
Well, when I'm geeking out, I don't read the comments. But yeah, at the same token, when I go back and rewatch the video, because I'm always trying to get better, I do see the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be glancing, but I really be trying to be focused.
This is like the first time I'm seeing the comments.
Yeah, well, because y'all are so funny, I'd be trying to keep, a straight face. I mean, we don't really need to keep a straight face tonight, so I have been laughing, as you know. But, like we've had several changes throughout the Come Up series, like format wise, like people that were on, like the number of guests that were coming on. And I really want to take the time to acknowledge some of those early adopters, I guess, of the Come Up series. And I want to shout out Kamari, because Kamari is a fellow artist. She's a filmmaker, and she actually has a new film out that you can check out on her website, I believe, kamaribright.com. Kamari was in the early stages of the Come Up series. And as we were figuring out what we were going to do and all that, you know how things happen, things change. So I can't even talk. I just want to acknowledge the incredibly valued contributions that Kamari
100%.
brought to the Come Up series. On Thursdays, we would kind of like, tag or double team Mark and just be like, trying to trip him up and like all that stuff. And it used to be really, really
only happened one time.
Really, really fun. I remember now it had to have been at least twice. Anyway, check the tape, y'all. Receipts. Okay. So but I just want to say, like, it is being an artist in this. You're always going to have creative tuggings. You're going to like change direction and all that. And just being able to honor like the creative flow and how those things, ebb and flow and all that is really important. So I just want again to shout out Kamari Bright for the deep questions she would ask. She's an awesome like thinker. And
she's a pretty dope investor too.
Yes. And, I just wanted to, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Kamari in the beginning.
And then, of course, we have to shout out our moderators. Of course, tevo is one of the moderators, but Kayla, then on top of that, yo, she be on it. So shout outs to you, Kayla. We know that you're here, and we truly, truly thank you. We got to shout out also Vanessa, AJ, Brian, as well as V. Yes, that whole squad. A lot of you, Tippy Shorter. We got to shout out Zoretha.
Yep, cousin Z.
Yeah, so we got to shout all of you out for it, of course, because for many of you that don't realize, we don't manage the Come Up Cousins page.
No,
that's been given to you, the people.
I mean, I come through with my popcorn and just see what y'all got going on. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what these guys got going on.
You know, these conversations be a little lit for me. So I just let y'all have it. Every now and then it's like, but I definitely follow along in a lot of the things in which that you discuss. And it's just amazing just to see that the lineage of how folks were just looking for trades. And then on top of that, now they're like literally dissecting trades, dissecting sectors and everything else. And that was created by each and every single one of you, the people. So honestly, give yourselves a shout out.
Wait, what is that?
What is what?
Did you send some aloha spirit?
I did.
Shout out to Lily.
Shout out to Lily. I mean, honestly, it's like, you know, I don't know how she does it.
Yo, I don't know either.
I don't know how she does it, but I mean, yo, shout out to Lily. Another person in which we definitely want to shout out is Rob, cousin Rob. Thank you so much.
Oh, the app developer?
Yes, I got to give him a shout out. The Think Big app is amazing. And for those of you that were like, well, hey, is this something that, you know, Mark endorses? I 100% endorse it. I remember having a conversation with Rob about it. One on Clubhouse, if you were there in that conversation. And then another time we actually had a conversation throughout, I think it was like through IG or something like that. And he told me about his vision. And I told him, hey, go for it. And it's an amazing success. I think that it's going to be a great tool in which that each and every single one of you will be able to utilize. I'm probably sure that there will probably be an Android version coming out sooner or later. But, you know, I must say shout outs to you as well. So I just definitely want to give credit to where credit is due. So, y'all, that's a lot of shout outs.
It is. And also, y'all, please do not get in your feelings if you did not get a shout out, because seriously, I didn't realize the effects of grape juice. No one told me.
You know, Jesus did turn water into wine at a wedding.
So it is not, seriously, it's not intentional if we forgot you. Like, literally, I'm just sitting here like, I'm on a good one. A nice, good
That's a South African.
So just shout yourself out. If you know you contributed to the Come Up Cousins, I want you to shout yourself out. Say, thank me.
So,
and put it in the comments.
So, yeah, that's actually pretty dope. Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely say thank me in the comments. We definitely want to hear you guys type that up. Thank me.
Thank me.
We'll wait for it.
Because y'all are part of the 50K.
Exactly.
Plus. Seriously.
We're still waiting. We're still waiting for them to say thank me any day now.
And I mean, we got to give some, I'm going to get messy. We got to give out some honorable mentions. Shout out to the One Contract Gang. And the reason why I'm shouting y'all out, because you got to start somewhere. And I'm so glad that you all started, you organized, and that you're actively working on graduation. You know that One Contract Gang is a pit stop. It is not a destination. And you all are learning together, collectively, moving as a unit. And I salute each and every one of you, because it means something when you can make those choices to get your life together for that 70-30, meaning you have 30% expenses, 70% income, and you start to pull your money together to get that first contract. It is a testament to your strength and your ability to believe in yourself, even with one contract. Because that one contract, don't sleep on a one contract now. The profits can change your life. Okay, you can go from one contract to 2 contracts to 20 contracts to 100 contracts.
Are you trying to tell us something?
4,000 contracts.
Hey.
I'm gonna call it out right there, because y'all, we did not come to play. We did not come to play. I want to see each and every one of this wave of One Contract gang to hit that 500%, hit that 750%, hit that 1,000%. Now,
we're not here for the shaky.
No shaky. Solid, okay? As a rock.
So I saw somebody say 2 contract gangs, so they're definitely feeling it.
All right. Hey, step by step, y'all.
So, but now comes the charge of everything in which that is to come, because we've reached this milestone, and now it's time for us to go on to the next level. And you're going to hear a little bit more about that on Tuesday for sure, because we got to keep this rolling. We got some fire announcements coming this week, but we just wanted to celebrate tonight, just each and every single one of you that are just like, if you got your wine glasses or even your water alongside with us. We wanted you to just have this moment and share it we wanted to share it with you because honestly, it's like we're not the Come Up series without each and every single one of you. What good is us producing content for the Come Up series if none of you are actually experiencing your come up? So, we will start to have some challenges here. One of them,
speaking of it,
yes, one of them is that in moving forward, I want everybody to literally start to, I want us to get to this point where we literally start putting together an aggregate of returns.
Yes. Brother Christopher W. Bush.
Exactly.
If y'all recall I think it was on his debut live night, I think.
Yep.
Or not his debut, but before his show.
His show.
Yeah. He talked about us and can I talk? The importance of tracking our own data, owning our own data. And with that, y'all, we got to have receipts for this wealth because you already know I started the Stunt campaign early, right? And I'm looking for recruits. Y'all. Recruits for this Stunt campaign. And when I say Stunt campaign, I mean you are walking with a little dip in your step, with a little pep in your step. Can't nobody tell you nothing. They could try to tell you something, but it wouldn't work because they can't tell you nothing. And that is the Stunt campaign. And it's not even about money in your account. It's not even about that. Although, obviously, yeah. But it's really about you understanding the power of who the F you are in this wealth game when it comes to this money game. Can't nobody tell you nothing.
Yep.
You are the expert of your own investor portfolio. So, and let me just say this, Mark, because people will be in the DMs second guessing themselves. And the one pet peeve, I try not to bring out the good hand on this one, but if it does come out, it has a nice, satin glove or something. And this is when y'all get in my DMs and you say things like, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm sorry to ask this question. Do not get in my DMs talking about you are sorry about your desire to build wealth. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't tell us that.
Do not do that anymore. Okay? Seriously, don't do that anymore. You can ask whatever question you want to ask. Now, I will gently guide you to your own research, if it's one of those questions, or, remind you of who you are and that you are the expert of your own portfolio. So you do not need my opinion about how I think, what strike price you should get or what position you should get or whatever. Y'all know how I stand. Like, if we ain't talking about SMH, what are we talking about? No, I'm just kidding. There's others, but I love SMH. I do, Mark.
Is there something that you would like to tell us?
No, there's not. Oh. There's not. I'm just, SMH, it's time to come back home. Y'all, I'm just clowning. Don't mind me.
Okay. So, wow. I'd like to raise a glass because we saved a few little.
No, that's water.
It's water. We saved this.
We saved this much.
The ginger beer and everything else. See?
I didn't get nothing.
Clearly no water. This is what I deal with.
Lord have mercy. Okay, Cynthia. She said, thank me. Y'all are so funny. Like, seriously. Hilarious.
Seriously. We do not endorse these products. Cheers to each and every single one of you. And here's to many more cousins that are going to be joining in on the Come Up series. We started something, y'all, and we're not stopping. So to all those out there who wish to oppose this movement, we're coming. It just tastes so good.
It does, it's very smooth.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Well, I'm excited. So we got to get ready for the next set of episodes that we're going to start filming on our end.
Yes, Wealth Rituals Season 2 is coming out
We're coming through with fire. We're coming through with fire. This
TiVo show.
Che's show.
Yep.
We also have Christopher Bush, who's also going to be bringing in more content.
Mm-hmm.
I may be coming out with a few more new things.
You got some recipes cooking?
I do have some recipes cooking.
Okay, now.
You know, we may even have to bring in some friends along in. So you never know who's just going to and show up at the door. But you know what? In typical fashion of Us the Come Up series, there's more than enough room at the table for everybody.
That's right.
So thank you, each and every single one of you, for being a part of this journey. Keep executing, keep learning, keep researching, be kind. And until next time, which we'll see you in like literally a few days.
Y'all.
I'm Mark Monroe.
And I'm Jolene GC in a place called Tipsy.
Gonna be a story. And this has been your come up. We will see you all on Tuesday. Be advised, this is going to be the episode that you're going to want to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I guess that's how that goes. But either way, you just want to tell a lot of people because this one is going to be straight up legit. And on top of that, I'm very, very excited.
Wait, I got 2 words. Next level.
It is. And like we said, the game has officially now changed. So we'll see y'all on Tuesday. Come with pen and pad or, iPad and pencil.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, you take your notes, but just be ready because it's going to change the game.
Bring the war paint.
Yeah.
Maybe a ski mask. Nice.
In a good hand.
And this guy in the background.
Shout out to this one's Aaron.
This one's Aaron. His brother is Andre, so they're identical twins. So just in case. Okay. All right, y'all.